Behind the glitz and glamour of the Chinese entertainment world, filled with bright lights and cheering fans, there are hidden stories that only those who are observant enough to read the small signs can grasp. One story that is currently capturing the public's attention is that of Cheng Lei and Zhou Ye, two names that are increasingly being mentioned together, not only because of their work, but also because of their interactions, which are full of chemistry and emotion. However, this time it was not just a normal interaction. There was a moment that touched the hearts of fans, an incident that revealed Cheng Lei's deepest secret when he was unable to hide his jealousy. And from this moment on, everyone began to believe Cheng Lei had clearly stated, without words, that he loved Zhou Yi. Love, in fact, does not always come in the form of sweet words or grand declarations. Sometimes, love is most evident in the little things, a light touch, a slight smile, or even a jealous gaze. This is what happened to Cheng Lei. At a public event, Zhou Yi was seen chatting happily with another actor. From the outside, it was just a normal conversation. However, for those who knew and loved Cheng Lei, his expression changed instantly. The smile that usually graced his face faded. His eyes stared intensely, as if to say, "Don't get too close to him. You are mine. Only I am allowed to be by your side." The gaze was sharp, but also fragile. It depicted a heart that did not want to lose someone very precious. And the fans immediately picked up on that emotional vibe. Many people say that jealousy is the most honest form of love, not because of a desire to control, but because of a fear of loss. That was clearly evident in Cheng Lei's expression. He had never been completely open about his feelings for Zhou Yi, but this time his body, his expression, even the look in his eyes spoke louder than words. Jealousy was like a silent scream, an unspoken confession, but one that felt so real. And Cheng Lei, with all his calmness and charisma, finally faltered in front of Zhou Yi. Zhou Yi, with his sweet smile, seemed unaware that he was at the center of this emotional storm. However, sharp-eyed fans noticed the small details, the slight smile he hid, the glance he gave Cheng Lei, even the way he kept his distance from his conversation partner after noticing the change in Cheng Lei's expression. Was Zhou Yi really innocent? Or did he actually know very well that he was Cheng Lei's only weakness? This mystery made the story even more exciting. Fans became even more convinced that behind all their simple interactions, there was a turbulent love, a love that they could no longer hide from the world. As soon as the moment spread on social media, the virtual world was immediately shaken. Hashtags about Cheng Lei and Zhou Yi were trending. Thousands of comments filled every video and photo upload, with fans half screaming, half crying with happiness. That gaze is real. It's not an ordinary gaze. It's a gaze full of love. Cheng Lei is clearly jealous. I can feel his emotions even through the screen. Zhou Yi, you really have complete control over his heart. More than that, many fans created video compilations of their sweet moments together. With romantic music, Cheng Lei's jealous gaze looked like the climax of a romantic drama. The world seemed to pause for a moment to witness love trying to break free from hiding. From all the signs that appeared, one thing became very clear. Cheng Lei wanted Zhou Yi, not in the sense of rigid possession, but as a form of sincere feelings that he could no longer hold back. Cheng Lei is known as a cold, rational, and controlled person. However, only in front of Zhou Yi can he lose control. He can turn into someone who is jealous, fragile, and even open. And isn't that a sign of true love? Love that makes us willing to open up our weakest side, just for one person. Through his jealousy, Cheng Lei unconsciously declares to the world that Zhou Yi is the only one who can stir his heart. Now, a big question hangs in the air. Will Cheng Lei continue to hide behind that jealous gaze, or will he one day truly dare to express his love for Zhou Yi? For many fans, this moment is enough. Because in a world full of falsehoods and scenarios, that jealous gaze feels so real, so pure. It's not acting, it's not a media strategy, it's the heart speaking. However, the longer the moment is analyzed, the more people are convinced that this is not just a small sign. Many fans refer to Cheng Lei's jealousy as a silent confession, a subtle way he unconsciously uses to show that his heart has long been attached to Zhou Yi. In every gesture, it's as if there is a whisper of love that he is trying to hide, but the world has seen everything. Even more surprising, some people began to link this moment to their past interactions, a series of small clues that finally formed a big picture. Cheng Lei always paid more attention to Zhou Yi than anyone else. Whether in interviews, behind the scenes, or during filming, the same gaze always appeared. It was as if time stopped when her eyes were fixed on Zhou Yi. The secret love that had been kept hidden was finally revealed, not through words, but through body language that he couldn't control. And this is what made their story so captivating, because fans knew that true love didn't need grand declarations. Just one honest moment was enough for the world to see everything. Cheng Lei may be able to maintain his composure in front of the camera. He may be able to cover it up with a smile or laughter, but one thing he cannot hide is the way he looks at Zhou Yi. That gaze is full of love, full of possessiveness, full of fear of loss. And in the end, true love always finds a way to come out. Whether in the form of a sweet smile, a small gesture of attention, or even an uncontrollable feeling of jealousy. Cheng Lei, with all her elegance, has opened her heart to the world, and everyone knows who is inside it. The answer is simple, and everyone now believes. It is Zhou Yi. So, what do you think? Is this just a fleeting moment that has been blown out of proportion? Or is it truly proof that Cheng Lei can no longer hide her love for Zhou Yi?